conflict in the Middle East is intensifying by the hour. Media reports now suggest that Israel has told Washington that a limited ground incursion into Lebanon is imminent. The Israeli military has already begun carrying out what they're calling limited raids at Hezbollah sites inside Lebanon, though they insist that no decision has been taken yet on a ground invasion. Well, that's the official version, but sources seem to suggest otherwise. As per reports that surfaced today, Israeli special forces have carried out small raids into Lebanese territory in recent days as part of preparations for a potential ground offensive. As we just mentioned, Israel has told Washington that it is actually planning a limited ground operation in Lebanon, which could start imminently. Israeli commandos infiltrated Lebanese territory targeting Hezbollah positions near the border as part of their limited raids to gather intelligence and destroy Hezbollah posts in the area, according to sources. The targeted raids are the latest indication that Israel is indeed laying the groundwork for a significant ground incursion into Lebanon, although the Israeli government does not appear to have made any official decision about it just yet. In the last few days, yet another event in the Middle East has sent shockwaves through the world and stoked fears of a wider regional war. On Friday, Israel assassinated Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, leaving Iran's biggest proxy militia headless. This comes amidst waves of relentless Israeli airstrikes on Lebanon, as the border conflict between Israel and Hezbollah has reached an intensity never seen before. Amid growing speculation about whether the Israeli military will launch a ground invasion of Lebanon next, Hezbollah's deputy leader Naim Qassem has said the group is already preparing for a possible Israeli ground offensive and that they would also choose a leader to succeed Nasrallah very soon. In the first speech by a high-ranking official since Israel killed the Hezbollah chief, Qassem said, "The battle may be long, but all options are open." He thanked the Lebanese people and the government. The speech was dedicated to the group's supporters and fighters, and the message was that no matter who dies, the resistance, as they call it, will replace them and stay powerful. He vowed to continue the group's mission to fight Israel and defend Palestinians despite the massive losses that have been incurred by Hezbollah in Lebanon. Qassem said Israel's claims about having hit most of the group's medium and long-range missiles is a dream that they've not achieved, nor will they achieve. We are ready if Israel decides to enter through land, and the resistance is ready for a clash. All the sacrifices that we've gone through, beginning with the pagers to the martyrdom of our leaders and the martyrdom of our Secretary General, would shake armies, populations, and organizations, yet we continue. With the pains of these days, with the sacrifices, we continue. That's what Hezbollah's number 2 leader has said. Israel killed Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah in a strike on Friday, which according to Israel also killed 20 other key figures in the group. US President Joe Biden has described the strike as a measure of justice for victims of Hassan Nasrallah, but Iran's supreme leader has said the Hezbollah chief's death will not go unavenged. Amidst the growing threat to the leaders of what Iran describes as the axis of resistance, its supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has actually moved to a secure and unknown location. A senior general in Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps was also killed in the strike that took out the Hezbollah chief. The Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine has said 3 of its leaders were killed in a strike on central Beirut. An Israeli strike has killed a Hamas leader in Lebanon. Israel also targeted another Iranian-backed group, the Houthis in Yemen. Cross-border fire between Israel and Hezbollah has been reported throughout the weekend. In Lebanon, officials say more than 1,000 people have been killed in the past 2 weeks, while 1 million have been displaced, possibly the largest displacement in Lebanon's history. At least 100,000 people have crossed from Lebanon into Syria to escape the Israeli airstrikes, according to the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. As we said, while attacks and counterattacks between Israel and Hezbollah have gone on for a long time now, just the last few days of an intense conflict have completely changed the scenario. Hezbollah's longtime leader Hassan Nasrallah was killed in his underground headquarters in Beirut, a significant escalation in the ongoing war. A series of loud explosions rang out and smoke rose from the city's southern suburbs. Images broadcast on local television showed a huge crater where 6 buildings once stood as rescuers navigated the rubble. The strikes crushed residential buildings that sank beneath the ground, leaving a crater bigger than the size of a soccer field. Footage of the level of damage indicates that Israel had used 2,000-pound bombs, according to weapons experts. And it's only getting worse. Israeli airstrikes have hit inside Beirut's city limits for the first time since the 7th of October last year. The attack on Kola is a major development as the building targeted is at the heart of Beirut, in an area that has so far been spared. Israeli assault. It hit a Sunni area near the district's intersection. It has sent shockwaves across all of Lebanon, even in areas that were deemed safe thus far. Videos show chaotic scenes on the streets of Beirut. Until now, Israel's airstrikes on Beirut have focused on the southern part of the city, the densely populated and predominantly Shia neighborhoods where Hezbollah has a stronghold. The Israeli military has said that 35 rockets have been fired from Lebanon into northern Israel today. Some were intercepted, while others fell in open areas. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Nasser Kanani says Iran will not leave any Israeli criminal acts unanswered. He added Iran does not seek war but is not afraid of it. His comments echo those of Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has said that Israel's actions will not go unavenged. With the Middle East on the edge, the biggest question on everyone's mind is just what will Iran do next? Having dealt massive blows to Hezbollah in recent days and significantly weakened Hamas, and knowing that it enjoys the full backing of the United States, analysts say Israel not only wants to inflict enormous damage on its enemies, it also wants to reshape the Middle East. One thing Iran watchers and some Israelis are warning about is that if the so-called Ring of Fire, Iran's build-up of allies and proxies formed over many years, is now shown to be flawed and ineffective, it leaves the question of whether Iran could decide to develop a nuclear weapon. If they do so, and the Americans discover it, that could lead to a US bombing campaign against Iran. That's the kind of wider scenario that people are worried this turbulence could lead to. Israel's actions are proving enormously popular at home, though, and there is a feeling in Israel that they have scored a mighty victory and they now have the opportunity to reshape things. If you consider that their strategic goal with Hezbollah is to get the more than 60,000 people in northern Israel back to their homes that they've been forced to leave, then killing Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah does not really bring them any closer to that goal. Hezbollah is still firing rockets, and although they're not causing huge amounts of damage to Israeli targets, people cannot still return to their homes while this continues. Since the 17th of September, Israel has dealt the Iran-backed militia one body blow after another. First, the pager and walkie-talkie blasts, then a massive airstrike on southern Beirut, which killed senior Hezbollah commander Ibrahim Aqil, followed 3 days later by the start of a brutal bombing campaign. By Friday evening, when Nasrallah was killed in a bombing that flattened multiple buildings, Hezbollah senior leadership had been almost entirely eliminated. Killing Hassan Nasrallah was a step towards changing the balance of power in the region for years to come. That's what analysts say. In fact, this is a statement that's been made by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu himself. He declared this on Saturday. The Israeli leader sees an opportunity opening up for a fundamental reconfiguration of power in the Middle East. So what will Israel do next? What is its end game? Is a ground invasion into Lebanon now almost inevitable? And how will Iran respond? Analysts say Hezbollah's continued losses in its war with Israel have created a disastrous situation for Iran. Tehran's preferred way of war is to operate through its proxies, and Hezbollah was the diamond in its crown. It played a major role both in their struggle against Israel and their efforts to create what they call the axis of resistance in the region across Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Gaza, and Yemen, who give Iran strategic depth against its enemies. But the blows to Hezbollah have come as a major setback to Iran. How it will respond still remains unclear. Reports say the Biden administration is worried that an attack from Iran is possibly being planned in the wake of Israel's killing of Hezbollah leader Nasrallah. it is believed to be working with Israel in this regard. US officials have been quoted as saying joint defenses are being prepared to ward off an attack. But at the same time, the United States is working round the clock to avert another major escalation that could lead to an all-out war in the region.